824, Big 550 KTRS. David Blaustein is with us, who is, well, he can't fit his head through the ABC elevator because his Cowboys are, 5-1 and considered one of the best teams in the NFL. Good morning, David Blaustein.
That's all true.
Yes, it is.
Including the thing about the elevator.
It's a small elevator. I certainly understand that. All right. I want you, the Rams should get a little credit for the Cowboys being 5-1,
Wait, who should?
The Rams.
Oh, the Rams? Yes, it was very nice of them to let us come back like that.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. And so the Cowboys were staring a 21-0 deficit in the face, turned it around, and have been lights out since.
Well, wasn't it 24-0?
I think it was 21-0.
I think it was actually 24-0. I think they were losing 24-0 at one point.
We got to check that. All right, good.
I think they were down by 24 points at one point, I think.
All right, let's talk movies here because...
No, I like the Cowboys better.
Well, we probably want to talk Cardinals, and we probably shouldn't talk Cardinals.
Yeah, that's right.
After last night.
Yes, let's talk about movies. Which one do you want to start with?
I want to start with this movie that critics... Now, the commercials are saying this is going to change the way we watch movies, and this movie will change your life. The best of are men, women, and children. What do you think of that one?
It's not going to change the way you watch movies.
Okay.
This is a movie that's okay. It should have been a lot better. I love Jason Reitman as a director. I think Juno is a great movie.
I do too.
Thank You for Smoking is an excellent movie, and that was his first feature film. He hasn't really had a really solid movie since then. Thematically, I think this is an excellent movie thematically, but the execution, unfortunately, is not excellent, and it's only okay. This is about how we deal with the Internet, how we communicate with each other, mostly parents and their teenagers, and how we relate to each other, how we relate intimately to each other, and what parents and the perils and what parents have to deal with these days as well. And the thing is it's a little heavy-handed, so Jason is kind of pounding you over the head with some of these themes, and it's not focused enough, really. And so what you have is a movie that's good, that's piecemeal good. It's not consistently good. It's not good from top to bottom. It's not good from the beginning to the end. In the first half hour of this movie is really terrific, and then the rest of it is meh. So 3 out of 5 stars.
All right, so it's not going to change the way I look at life.
No, it's not. It could have been. It potentially could have been one of those thought-provoking movies. It could have changed the way that you look at life. It wants to do that. The studio is trying to do that, but the fact of the matter is, it's probably not going to. If it cut about a half hour out of it and maybe even 2 of the storylines, then you probably would have had something that was just a little more poignant.
Well, if it's not going to change the way I'm going to look at life, I'm not going to go see it.
I'm not going to go see it. I don't want to change my life. All right. The other one is Book of Life. Who's in that?
Book of Life is a movie that I cannot discuss with you because I did not see it.
Okay, good. Fury. What about Fury? Have you seen
Fury,
that?
I certainly did see. This is, I think, almost an excellent World War II movie. It's one of the better World War II movies. It stars Brad Pitt as a tank commander. At the end of World War II, the Germans have lost the war at this point, and everybody seems to know that except for the Germans. So they are a desperate enemy at this point, and Brad Pitt and his crew are battle-hardened. What's really interesting, sort of the backstory or the inside story of this, is writer-director David Ayer asked his actors, Brad Pitt, Shia LaBeouf, John Bernthal, Michael Pena, and Logan Lerman, to live in this tank while they were filming. So they ate in the tank, they slept in the tank, they went to the bathroom in the tank, and when you're watching, you could smell it in it. It is. It just, there are a few movies, and there are movies that have done this well, but I think that this is the movie's strength, and I think what it does better than almost any other war movie, the way that it portrays the camaraderie, the anxiety, the humanity, and the brutality of war all at the same time is fantastic. That gets a little lost because towards the end of this movie, it becomes a little Rambo-esque, which it didn't need to be. I think it's that way because that's how David Ayer probably sold the movie to the studio.
Right.
That's probably how he got the movie made, because otherwise the realism of this movie might have been too much to take. But, again, from top to bottom, it's acted beautifully. There are some very poignant scenes. Again, it gets diluted a little bit just because of that Rambo-esque thing that it does towards the end, but 4 out of 5 stars.
Didn't I read somewhere that Brad Pitt and Shia LaBeouf got in an argument with the other guy, the other actor?
Supposedly they all got into like little fights here and there, and they all laugh it off and say that's what happens when you put 5 grown men in a small space, which is understandable.
Yeah. All right. Quickly, while we still have you, The Best of Me, that Nicholas Sparks movie. What do you think of that one?
One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Really?
I mean, not just one of the worst movies of the year. I mean, this is an awful movie, and it loses you 10 minutes in. I mean, it literally implodes 10 minutes in because for some reason they cast Luke Bracey, who's a fine actor, to play the high school version of James Marsden when Luke Bracey looks like he could be James Marsden's father. James Marsden is genetically gifted. James Marsden should have played a younger James Marsden. What are they going to do in the next Nicholas Sparks movie? Cast Burt Reynolds to play the young Channing Tatum? I mean, it is the most egregious piece of casting I've ever seen. Every time Luke Bracey shows up, it destroys your suspension of disbelief. It's ridiculous, and the movie has a lot of other problems too. So 1 out of 5 stars.
All right, hold on a second. Which is worse, The Best of Me or that Nicolas Cage movie that's out, Born Again?
The Nicolas Cage movie is worse.
Okay.
Wow.
But this is pretty bad.
All right.
I mean, if you put these two movies together, it will probably form a black hole and suck the life out of the universe and destroy us as we know it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's David Blaustein. He can not only regale you with the offensive line play of the Dallas Cowboys, he can break down a movie in any segment. ABC News Entertainment editor David Blaustein. Have a good week, David.
Zach Martin is awesome.
8:30 K.